No. That was 15. 15 was Juventus and Barcelona. And then, because Real Madrid had their first one in 14. Their first new one in 14.
I think so. I don't know. I don't want to look it up.
Sounds right, though. I think
but,
I'm right.
Fuck, what was I going to say?
Best side of all time, Pep, managing that side.
Yeah, like, so he's won a Champions League with the best, or I'm going to say arguably the best club team of all time. I'm just going to say that because people will disagree with that. Anyway, I don't necessarily disagree with that because the players have. But you win a Champions League with them, and then you go to Munich, who are already winning their League Cup, and then their extra cup, like their equivalent of the FA Cup, and you only win those with them, never get to a final with them. Then you leave them and you go to City, who had already won the league, who were winning the League Cup, and I think City won the FA Cup one time before he got there. And then he came in, and all he's done is won those three things.
In the same year, though.
One time. But when you're my point is when you're spending $1 billion or £1 billion, however you want to equate it to, and even the guy who was City's like recruitment guy before Pep got there was with Pep at Barcelona and is Pep's best friend, and they brought in De Bruyne and I think Sterling and someone else in like 3 years because City knew that they were bringing in Pep. So I would consider even though De Bruyne was there, they knew Pep was coming and Pep wanted De Bruyne, so they brought him in. So I would consider him a Pep buy, and I can't remember who the other. I don't know if it was Sterling and whoever, but
they've assembled a good
team. They had already assembled a good team.
A Champions
before.
League by now.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like you can't call Pep like one of the best managers of all time, considering the amount of money that he spent.
Dude, that eats you alive when people say that.
I fucking hate it.
It bugs the shit out of you.
like how can you say that? He's only gone to teams that are already winning.
Yeah.
Like I could fucking go to Manchester City with an open checkbook and buy whoever the fuck I want and win games.
Yeah.
Without question.
Who was the coach in 12 at
Mancini?
Bayern? Was it Ancelotti?
No, it was a weird German guy. They only have like German people. Let me look it up. But I remember like Pep is like Urban Meyer. Whenever it started going bad for him at a team, that's when he leaves.
Yeah.
Like he signed a new contract, I think, this summer, like an extended contract. But if City don't get above, if they don't get in Champions League, I don't see him staying. I think he leaves. And then he'll blame Manchester City for it. Even though he spent how much money. And I think, and before this summer transfer window, he spent $600 million on defense alone. $600 million.
I don't think he leaves until he wants to. The thing is,
but
what I'm saying,
that was the same. He had the same thing at Bayern. Not to the extent that he has at City right now. But
City and Pep have become synonymous with each other. He was never synonymous with Bayern. He was never like synonymous with Barcelona.
Because they're just they're money merchants.
It was a match made in heaven for Pep and City.
Yeah, because Pep is like, I love spending money, and City like, we love spending money too.
Yeah, it works out. Yeah, and I don't think he's leaving. They could come seventh, and I think he stays.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't think you can consider him even top 5 best managers to ever manage. I don't. I think Arsene Wenger is a better manager than he is.
No, you don't.
If you look at the amount of money that Wenger spent in his entire career and the players that he had and what he was able to do with what he had, definitely was a way better manager than Pep is.
Pep has more titles than Wenger.
On teams that are already winning titles, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, I could go to Manchester City right now with the amount of money that Pep had and Pep spent, and I could win a title with that team.
How many titles did City win before Pep got there?
They won in 2012. Let me see.
We won 13. They won.
They have fucking.
They had 2 titles before you got there, and now they have 5. So
let me see. No, they had.
I think it was 11 and
12,
14.
2012,
Oh, yeah, 12.
2013, 2017, 18, 2018, 19. So
they won 13.
Yeah, so they won twice. Before
they didn't win 13.
2013, 14. Oh, between 13 and 14. That's what I meant. So it went United City, and then it went gap year. Pep didn't win, spent a fuck ton of money, won, and then spent more money and won, and then spent a little bit of money, lost, and then spent money on defense, and is nowhere near the title this year. See what I mean? Like. Yeah, okay, he's won titles, but he
hasn't built the team.
He has never been able to be like, I'm going to build this team up, and it's kind of the same with Mourinho. The only team that you could say that Mourinho built was that Porto team and maybe the Chelsea team, the first time, like when it was like they were the scariest team ever. It was like Drogba, John Terry, Frank Lampard, Ashley Cole, Robin, Joe Cole. Iger Goodjohnson, like that team was insane, and I think Mourinho kind of built that team up. But
relatively unknown players, is that?
Yeah, like I think Ancelotti is a better manager than Pep because
Pep couldn't do what Ancelotti's doing at Everton.
No,
not in a million years. Absolutely not.
No. But again, Pep couldn't do what Arsene Wenger did at Arsenal for years with the resources that Wenger had, in my opinion.
If you gave Pep Henry and Pires back then,
but with
you're saying he couldn't build that team, but he could come in and manage that team, right?
Yeah. Like he wouldn't. If Henry was at Monaco and was having a decent season, he'd be like, "Yeah, buy him," and then the second he does poorly, he ships him out.
Who do you do that to?
Basically, Götze was playing phenomenally at Bayern Munich or at Dortmund. Pep comes in and Bayern bought him, played him a couple times, and then was like, "Yeah, he's all right. He's not what I thought he was." And then he benched him, and then obviously since Götze was still there at manager after manager, and then nothing has come from. I think he got cut, and I don't know what team he's playing for now.
He's a Dortmund.
No, I think he got cut, didn't he? Him and Schürrle got cut, both.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah. World Cup winner. Literally a World Cup winner.
Dude, but that...
Won the World Cup.
When he was 20, that Dortmund side with Lewandowski and Royce...
That was...
And Blaszczykowski.
Yeah. Klopp is... I think Klopp could be argued as one of the best managers to ever be in the Premier League. I don't know ever, but in the Premier League, without question.
No, I agree. He's been successful with 3 different formations
by building them up.
At Mainz,
at Mainz,
he played a 5 back.
Yeah,
they went to a 4-2-3-1.
Yeah,
and now he's playing a 4-3-3.
Yeah,
false 9.
Yeah,
so
Klopp, that's why I think Klopp is better than Pep, is because he actually built up a team.
He knows how to utilize his players too.
Yeah,
he knows where to put them that will benefit.
But that comes with fucking his scouting and his tactics. Like he knows what players fit the system that he wants, and that's what he goes for. Where Pep is just like, oh, this guy is the best player right now. Yeah, I'm going to take him just so no one else can. And also, if when City got their money and they started buying players, they were jacking up the prices of players so that no other team could buy them. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So Raheem Sterling, Raheem Sterling, really should have went for 35 mil to City, right? They bought him for 50 because they were just like, we have the extra money, just take the extra money, right? And then, why Chelsea spent 50 million on Fernando Torres will baffle me. Coming from Liverpool after he had a terrible year, I don't know why they spent 50 million on him.
Probably trying to like rejuvenate the what. He's not worth 50 mil though. I mean, that was
at
really
that point. At that point, I don't
evaluation.
think it was. Yeah.
Liverpool not being too hot on money could have been a big. Like you're going to take our top striker.
Yeah. You take him for 50 million. Yeah, he's been absolute dog shit for a year.
Oh, you're saying the incentive of actually paying 50 million for a declining striker.
Like Chelsea and City were the teams with new money and were willing to spend it, right?
Yeah.
Then they started jacking up the prices, and Chelsea aren't as to blame for this as City are, and Real Madrid and Barcelona, and PSG now. But all of them, when they're buying up, like Dembele coming from Barcelona to fucking Dortmund to Barca, not worth the fucking 90 mil.
Not after just one season.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. Absurd.
Now, what I was about to ask, did they buy Sterling after his second season or after that debut season?
I think it was...
It was after the second.
I want to say it was after the second, but I can't remember Sterling in two different jerseys. I can only remember him in the Warrior one.
Yeah, so he was, and that was discontinued in 13, so he was only there for 2 seasons.
Okay.
Because he came in 12. Now, Suarez had already left to go to Barca before Sterling went to Liverpool.
I thought Sterling went first.
I don't think so. Because
we had Joseph here.
Suarez was at Barcelona before Neymar was. And Neymar got there in 2014. Which means Suarez would have left after the Liverpool 2013 year where they came second.
So Suarez was at Liverpool from 2011 to 2014.
Okay.
And then Sterling.
Yeah, Sterling hadn't been at City for 6 years. I think he went in 15.
He's been at Man City since 15, yeah. So, yeah. He left the season afterwards.
So, yeah, when Liverpool sold their top best striker in Suarez, I don't think it's too far-fetched that Sterling, the new up-and-coming forward for them, was 50 mil. Like, that doesn't seem as insane to me as if Liverpool still had Suarez and sold Sterling, he would have gone for 35. But I think it was the predicament that... Because, I mean, look at who they played up top for the next 3 years. Do you see what I mean? Liverpool, like, they played the...
Lambert, Andy Carroll, Danny Ings.
Right.
Which, Danny Ings, at that point, Danny Ings was absolute dog shit.
But that's...
City paid 50 mil for him. So, I mean, I get it because he was young and he was up and coming, and also the English tax. Forward. But that's what I'm saying, like... He should have gone for 35 million, and Liverpool probably would have taken 35 million, right? Because at that time, Liverpool were not necessarily the best for cash at that point. But
they just cashed out on Suarez too.
Yeah, but City knew that they could, that if they wanted to, they could give even 40 mil, and they would get Sterling. But they were like, "We're going to give you 50, just so then the price of all these players rise." You know what I mean?
Who else was in for him? Chelsea.
In 15?
For Sterling.
Oh, Chelsea, yeah. And then I think I don't want to say Real, but
so it was a bidding war. I mean, that's just surprising.
I mean, basically, it was like
how much do you want to gamble on this kid?
Yeah. Which, I mean, I guess you could kind of say it worked out, but also at the same time, like, it didn't really, because he's like sometimes good, sometimes bad.
Sane's
like Gattuso in that wing or in that meme. Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit. But yeah, and then like back to the manager thing. I don't think, and you could say Pep is a top manager. I don't.
Nope. I think he has the answers to a system that works, but I do not think he can only implement the system that he knows from Cruyff.
Yes.
With players that can play. Yeah. He could not bring that system into a Burnley side.
No.
Wouldn't happen.
No. I don't think many people could to do a Burnley side. But like a lesser side that doesn't have the same money that the 3 clubs that he's been at has.
If Leeds were more Leeds are close to the system playing the 3-3-3-1. Yeah. They're very close because it actually is a 3-3-3-1.
If they were bought out by the Saudi prince, and they had 250 million to spend instead of the 4 or billion instead of the $4 billion.
I mean,
that
they've had some of the better
Mansour.
recruits this year with
Yeah.
Rafinha, with Rodrigo, and these guys aren't even playing every game.
No,
These are players that would
I
play
know,
every
but
single game